Hey guys, welcome back to Inside Investing. Today we're gonna talk you through how to set up your broker account. Because in the last episode we discussed with you how to select your broker, and in this one we're gonna actually create a broker account for ourselves, and we're gonna talk you through the whole process from start till finish. So let's go. So first off, why and what is a broker? Well, a broker is actually a platform that you need to have in order to start investing in stocks and into trackers. So this is actually your first step to actually start investing. In the last episode, we discussed with you on how to select your broker. So if you want to know which broker is best, please look at our last video. We'll also link it down below and also link it at the end of this video. So to start off with the registration, please use your link that we've copied in the description if you also want to start investing at the broker that we selected back in that video, which was DEGIRO. And the first step is to open, of course, the website or the app that your broker has. In our case, we did it via the website, but you can of course always download an app. I think for most brokers, they also have an app, so it's just whatever you find most easy. So then what you do is say that you want to open an account. For that, you're probably going to need some sort of an email address, a username and a password, which you can of course choose yourself. Then what you need to do is verify your email. Probably you're going to get some sort of a verification email address that you get sent to your mailbox. And you sort of need to press on enter or whatever in that email to confirm that that email address is indeed linked to your account. So you can see that right here. This is the email that we received. So we said complete your registration. And then the next step is actually to put in some personal information, which is quite easily, of course. So here you enter the country that you reside in, then your mobile phone number. Shouldn't be too difficult, I think. The next step is to get the residence details, which you can see right here. So you need to enter, for example, your street, the number of your house, the address additions that you might have, the town and the city, and the postal code that you have, and of course the country of residence. After this you can continue with the next one, which includes some personal details such as the date of birth, the month, the place that you were born, and the country that you were born in. To also then afterwards confirm whether you're a US person, which means a US citizen or a US resident. In our case that's a no. But it could of course be that this is a yes. Then the next step is to connect a bank account. That of course depends on the country that you choose. Earlier in the process, in this case you need to enter a sort code and your bank account number. So at least know that that's what you need to fill in here. And then you can continue. In this case we verified our ID in the Netherlands because that's where we reside in. So that's what you see first. So we need to say our nationality is Netherlands. And then we need to say if we have a double nationality within the EU, which is a no. Then the next thing you need to do is let DEGIRO perform an account check. They mentioned right here in the screen that it could take up to 10 working days, 10 business days. In our case, it only took them I think an hour or so. So it was very quick. It depends on the broker that you choose how fast they are. In our case, they were very fast. Could be in your case that indeed it's gonna take them some time. It also depends on the amount of requests that they currently have for new users. I think the last couple of weeks, from what I understood, brokers are very busy. So it might be that there's some delay in processing those new users. Therefore, it could take up to, in this case, 10 business days. But for us, it only took us an hour or so to get verified. Then the next thing you need to do is do the tax confirmation. This of course depends on the country that you choose for previously. So in our case, we choose the Netherlands and then sort of the fiscal number that we have here. And that's what we enter right here. And then we continue to the next one, which is the profile that we need to choose. So there are two different profiles that you can choose from. The first one is basic and the second one is a custody account. The first one is a little bit cheaper and the custody account is a little bit more expensive. The difference between the two mainly is that with a basic profile, DEGIRO can also lend out the stocks that we have. For a custody account, that's not allowed. So for a custody account, they cannot lend out the stocks that we have within our portfolio. In our case, we choose for the first one, which is the cheapest one, to also ensure that we have the minimal transaction cost. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to learn investing, subscribe to get more free investing and finance tips and tricks. We give you easy to follow, straightforward suggestions on how to start investing and improving your portfolio. Like the video if you learned something new today and comment down below the topics for the next video. Then what you need to do is to accept the overall agreements of the broker that you choose for. So in our case, we need to accept a few different terms and conditions, let's say. So this is actually important, of course, to read through to make sure that everything's correct and it's also according to your understanding. So this is something that you need to read through on your own time. Then the next step is to perform the basic knowledge verification, let's say, right? There's quite a few different questions that you need to answer. In our case, there were 18 different questions that you need to answer, a few of them correctly in order to start investing in the stocks. The questions themselves were quite easy, so no worries there. You just need to enter them, take your time. In our case, again, there were 18 questions. I think it took us around like 10 minutes or so to enter these correctly. Eventually we managed to get 17 correct answers out of the 18 questions, so yay, we can start investing. And now the account was created, so we are ready, we're set, and we can start investing. So this is actually the welcome page. What you can see here is that currently there's 0.01 euro in our account, and we can now get a tour through the whole platform. However, we're already used to and familiar with the platform, so that's not needed for us. But now we can start the investment journey. So how long does this process take? It of course depends on the broker that you selected, of course. In our case, it took us, I think in total, around 2 to 2.5 hours to set it up, including the 1 hour in between where they needed to process our request. Of course, you need to have, let's say, your passport scanned in, etc. So that's just going to take some time, but overall it shouldn't take too much time. So I think indeed around 2 to 3 hours overall it should take you to get your account set up, which I think is definitely worthwhile. It's not that difficult, you just need to read the steps carefully. And now that we've got our account ready, we can actually make our first deposit, which you will of course see in the next video, where we're gonna make our first deposit and perhaps even buy our first stocks on our Inside Investing account. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something new today. Hope you learned how to set up your broker account. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. Leave this video a thumbs up. And of course, drop in the comments any topics that you want us to cover in the next video. Let's go.